now officially been the 1-year anniversary since the TheChrisDex established a new world order. He managed to hack into a virtual reality game and was able to take the assets from the game and put them into the real world. He used them to launch a peaceful revolution with only a bajillion casualties. He managed to make amazing changes like making the national anthem Bad and Bougie by Amigos and Lil Uzi Vert. He also made fruit snacks the official product of the world and had factories made all around the globe. We sure love a leader with a healthy obsession with fruit snacks. Here now we have a clip of an interview with our great and fearless leader.
You know, sometimes people doubt my leadership skills, okay? They tell me, TheChrisDex, you're an incompetent leader, and you'll pay for all your horrible war crimes and atrocities. And you know what I tell them? Nothing. I just have them executed.
He's as charming as he is compassionate. He also left us with a very cool gift. He has given us the last video he made before he took power, which is a video about the second arc of Sword Art Online, which will be played after this on the TheChrisDex TV channel, which is the only channel on TV. Oh, and that other channel that just plays footage of fruit snacks being made on repeat. Again, a healthy obsession. We thank you for watching TCDNN, and remember, speaking ill of our leaders, punishable by death. Bye! Can I see my family now?
Ah, what an amazing empire I've made. The poverty rate is at 99%. I mean, at least it's not 100%. That's a win in my books. Someone's gotta pay for these fruit snacks. I'm out of fruit snacks! This is an executive order. All citizens are now required to give up all their fruit snacks to the government. Failure to comply would lead to you being sent to the gulag. Has there ever been a leader as nice as me?
A lot of people have been saying that right here, a lot of used fruit snack bags have been piling up, more than anywhere else in the world. Oh, and also, yeah, I know you noticed, I am an anime boy, and my tragic backstory is that I was a failed attempt at him making an anime girl, and it's a sad backstory, I understand. But he just got rid of me, so, you know, now I'm a rebel.
So that's where you think he's hiding?
Yep.
So that's where we have to go. If we can get in, we can finally get rid of him.
We can finally restore the world to the way it was before he attacked.
Yep, we're staging a coup.
It's pronounced coup, you don't say the P at the end.
Then why is it there if you don't pronounce the P?
Exactly.
Because okay, we can sell this after we kill this guy.
It's coup, not coup.
What?
Nothing.
Sup everyone, and welcome back to the virtual world. I still don't know what this place is called, so I gave it my own name. I call it the virtual world that I'm stuck in, but now I have the master controls. Really rolls off the tongue. Anyway, none of that matters now that I have access to the operating system and can edit this world to my liking. I had set up a parade to celebrate my newfound power, but turns out, and you'll find this funny, I'm the only one here. It's kinda tough having all this power and no one to show it to. I'm stuck with this sword too, I can't even change it. But I have a solution. If talking about the first arc of Sword Art Online got me the power to control this world, what would happen if I talked about the second arc? Oh no, it's the Cannibal Eagles! I made them by accident when I was playing around with the controls in this world and now I don't know how to get rid of them. So most people generally see the second arc of Sword Art Online as a total train wreck for having a very creepy and the borderline pedophile main villain. And this one has incest in it. Yeah, I'll talk more about that later on, but for some reason the series thought it would be a great idea that Kirito's cousin falls in love with him. Like, did none of the scriptwriters think there was something wrong with that? Were they just like, yeah, add an incest side plot there for the gamers, they're all degenerates anyway. The second arc also takes place in a completely different MMO known as Alfheim, a fairy world. And in this world, there's different races of fairies and they all have some type of beef with each other or something. What exactly are y'all fighting about? Wing size? Who has more pixie dust? Oh, and remember, if someone in the real world offers you something called pixie dust, always say no. Unless it's free, then it's just rude to say no. This arc is called the Fairy Dance arc. I mean, I would have called it the Skip This arc, you know, something that perfectly sums up this season. As I've made it clear many times, I don't hold this arc in the highest regard. And trust me, you will see why. Alright, so before we begin, I should probably mention that I did really enjoy the first season. The plot was very interesting, the fight scenes were really entertaining, and some of the visuals and enemy designs were really cool. It had its problems, but hey, don't we all? And now, with that out of the way, let's get started with my plans for world domination. I mean, Sword Art Online Arc 2. Well, a new arc of Sword Art Online means a new intro, and this one is just alright. It's definitely not a bad intro, it just isn't anywhere near as good as the first one. That was way more epic and dramatic and was a lot more indicative of the show. I mean, who am I to judge? I don't rate anime intros, but I did make a company called Rating Anime Intros. We just sell quesadillas. Now in the show we pick up after Kirito, whose real name is Kazuto, wakes up from the hospital, and he is now living a normal life where he lives with his aunt and cousin. Turns out that Asuna has not woken up like the other players and is still stuck in the nerve gear. And now we find out why.
It sounds strange, but even though she's like this, she's still beautiful. I'd like to see her in that wedding dress.
You have a point.
Now granted, I am not a lawyer or familiar with the marriage laws in Japan, but I don't think you can marry someone against their will or without their knowledge. I mean, it's gonna be kinda awkward during the ceremony when she's still in her hospital bed and unconscious. But soon after, Kirito finds out that she's stuck in another game called Alfheim Online, or ALO for short, and this is an MMO where everyone is a fairy. I actually looked up ALO online, and I found out that it's actually a clothing brand that sells $100 sweatpants. For $100, this shit better be made out of fairies. And Kirito obviously goes into the game to save Asuna. I mean, I think calling Child Protective Services on her parents would have been just as effective, but oh well. Oh, and I did forget to mention that Asuna is still technically a child, right? Yeah, you heard that right. This grown-ass man is trying to marry a 16-year-old. The magic of anime. In the game, Kirito meets another fairy called Lifa, who helps Kirito on his quest to save Asuna. After that, Lifa agrees to help Kirito get to the World Tree, which is where Asuna is being held captive. But then it's revealed that Lifa is actually Kirito's cousin. This seems like a porn plot, I've been told, because I would never, ever watch that. We also meet the Fairy King Oberon, who is also the person in control of the game, and the guy trying to marry Asuna. There's 8 more episodes of this. Yeah, this is one of the biggest problems with this arc. I get trying to make the villain creepy so he's easy to hate, but I mean, there were other ways of doing it. Like, yes, they do explain that he's trying to take control of the remaining SAO players, and that is evil enough, so I don't really see the need to intertwine Asuna into this. All his scenes are just super uncomfortable, which can work for a villain, but this is a fantasy anime. Just give him devil horns and call it a day. And then after that we get into some fairy gang wars, you know, because sometimes you're watching Tinkerbell and you think to yourself, wouldn't it be cool if they were killing each other? Again, another side plot that does not make sense here because this is an SAO, people aren't actually dying here. Nobody should be taking this that seriously. Unless they're also World of Warcraft players, then maybe it's a bit believable. Asuna then tries to escape by getting into the control room and trying to log herself out, but then she's captured by... Man, who wrote this? Munesma Nakamoto. This is payback for Hiroshima. Tentacle monsters. What does that have to do with anything? But eventually, after all this happens, Kirito makes it to the World Tree, but he's being blocked by a barrier. Asuna drops him a key card, which she got before she got tentacled away. With this, Kirito is now able to access the Game Master console. Lifa then hears him mention Asuna, which lets her know, huh, this is her cousin Kazuto. How did you not know that? They dress the exact same, they sound the exact same, they look the exact same, their names are super similar, Kazuto, Kirito. Like at no point did you get any red flags that this might be your cousin who you've spent most of your life with? This is like when you find out your Minecraft girlfriend is actually your uncle. Not that that's happened to me. Then she tells Kazuto that she's in love with him. And I said this in the first part, and I'll say it again. What do girls see in him? Like, how big must his pull be that even his own blood is falling in love with him? If Hollywood ever makes a live action of Sword Art Online, it better take place in Alabama. And then the next episode, they talk about it and apologize to each other, and Kirito says he'll tell her how he really feels after they save Asuna. What? I think he just told her how he really felt. If he's gonna rescue a girl before he tells you anything, that probably means he doesn't like you that way. Duh. Kirito and the rest of the fairies finally make it to the World Tree and they finally get to Asuna. But then Oberon appears and Kirito challenges him to a duel. But Oberon just freezes Kirito and then he... They just added The Last Airbender to Netflix. I could have been watching that instead of this. Like, I just watched Discount Legolas molest a teenager. What was this rated? It had to be rated mature. You know, adults only. Wow, it's rated TV 14. They're saying middle schoolers could be watching this. That's just unbelievable. Like, I really should stop right here. I mean, I would, but there's one episode left, and I've already lost my will to do anything, actually. But Kirito manages to free himself successfully and manages to defeat Oberon and logs out Asuna safely. And then he goes off to meet Asuna at the hospital. Then he gets attacked by Sugo, or Oberon, or as I call him, the reason this arc is dog shit. Kirito manages to take down Sugo because of Sugo's poor eyesight. Oh, you have poor eyesight, but you were seeing things real well when you were in the game. Kirito then gets to Asuna and the two kiss, and it's happily ever after for everyone except the viewers. Sugo gets arrested for cyber crimes. Oh really? That's what he got arrested for? Not, you know, getting engaged with a minor against her will? And the virtual reality genre is as strong as ever. I don't really think anyone should still be playing after everything that happened, but look, you can fly! I mean, what's getting your brain fried when you can fly? So all in all, Sword Art Online Arc 2 is bad. I know some people do enjoy it, and I really don't see why, to be honest, but who am I to judge people's opinions? Besides, you know, the creepy villain, there were many problems with the season, like all the unnecessary side plots. I think the season should have been a bit simpler and just make it so the main villain wants to take control over the VR players, and that's it. And also, Kirito is even more lifeless and uncharismatic than last season, and he's the center of attention much more in this season than the last season, so we spend more time with him. But looking at the season as a whole, it's still decent, I guess. I don't think the second arc is enough to make the whole season unwatchable, but I still think it should have been cut, and the first arc should have been made a bit longer. And with that, we are done with Sword Art Online. Thank God. Oh my God, there's 2 more seasons. Yay. What's happening? What's this power? It's incredible. I feel like I could take this to the real world. Real world, here I come. Man, that is a great story. I really showed off. Man, it's amazing being a loved leader, even though I'm hiding in a bunker. Yeah?
We're here with the revolution. We have found where you're hiding. Your days of being in power are over.
Man, these prank callers are getting so creative these days.
DiGiorno's delivery. We have your pizza.
Oh. Wait, DiGiorno's doesn't do delivery?
We meant Domino's.
Wait, why do you need multiple people to deliver a pizza? There's something off about this.
Just open the door.
Oh.
The TheChrisDex has been assassinated by rebels. His empire of tyranny is over! And we have the exclusive footage of his assassination. Take a listen.
It's over for you, buddy. You're about to die.
What? This can't be!
Yep, your time being in charge is over.
Now either you surrender peacefully, or we cancel your subscription to life.
How'd you get past the cannibal eagles?
Cannibal doesn't mean they eat humans, it just means they eat their own kind.
Yeah, they were all dead when we got here.
Oh. In that case, can I offer any of you fruit snacks? I got all types of them here. I got regular ones, I got berries and cherries.
Ooh, do you have strawberries?
I do!
Ooh.
Would you just shoot him already?
Why do you have an entire machine labeled Anime Girl Creator?
Well, that's not normal.
I know.
What did I just see? I just had a vision that I was a horrible dictator. And I watched Sword Art Online. That's disgusting. Why did I see that?
Hey, yo, they're giving away free fruit snacks over here.
I'm on my way.